Yeah.
All right, we in here, dog. We are in here, man. Welcome to Cory Lee's Boxing. This is Cory Lee Boxing. We got DC Mike in the building. Wow, man, what a crazy night of fights last night, man. DC Mike, we gotta start off, man. DC Mike made the bet last night, man. How did you go? How did the bet go? And who did you bet on, DC?
I was gonna do the bet. I was
Uh-oh.
trying to, but the location I was in, it wasn't working out for me, so I was not able to do the bet last night. But I'm kind of glad I didn't do it. Obviously, odds had it,
Tell him
had
what
to
you was
fight.
gonna bet, though. Tell him what you was gonna bet.
I was gonna bet on $100 on Ennis between rounds 5 and 6, and another 100 on rounds 7 and 8. But luckily and hopefully, not hopefully, but I'm glad I didn't do it because obviously the fight ended in the first round. But I really did want to bet on the fight, but I'm glad I didn't.
But be honest though. Smash that like button too, man. Smash that like button. Everybody in the chat right now, smash that like button. But be honest though, DC Mike did not say when we were on the phone with Beebs, did not say. I said, yo, I said, what I said, what's up with the first round knockout? The odds are plus 5,500. Remember I said that?
Yep,
Remember though?
I remember. Yep.
See, so I mean, I was thinking about betting, putting money on the first two rounds or whatever, man. But man, wow, man, did you watch the fight? And what did you think about the fight though? DC, shout out to
Well,
Cabadonna, Beatrice Beats. What's happening?
well, I'm gonna be honest with everybody. I don't have ESPN Plus, but the fight lasted what, 1 minute or 2 minutes,
Woo,
so
woo,
I
woo.
didn't need to pay for it. But it was quick work by Jaron Ennis. Tremendous talent out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Um, you know, he made quick work of Thomas Dulorme, and he looked good doing it. Fast hands, quick combinations, and he got him up out of there.
Yeah, man. What do you think? What do you? That's what I'm saying. Like, we've never seen Delorme, punished like this in a fight. I mean, he actually won some rounds against Terrence Crawford, man. I mean, do you remember watching the Terrence Crawford Delorme fight?
I remember that. Yep.
Did
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you give Delorme some of those rounds, or was it? Am I tripping?
To me, I gave him one, in my opinion.
But I'm just saying he got, he won rounds against, they're saying the most elite welterweight at welterweight, and this guy wipes him out in seconds.
Right,
Literally.
right. So
What do
in
you
that
think?
regard,
I mean, smash that like button, y'all. Let's get these likes up, man. But what do you think moving forward, DC, that this does for a guy like Jaron Ennis, man? And what does this say about Thomas Delorme moving forward?
yeah, like I said, Ennis did a tremendous job on Delorme. A quicker job than Terrence Crawford did, and it's almost like
Wow.
match him up. I think kind of he's kind of making it hard on himself to get these fights because he's making such quick work of these opponents and doing better job
Yeah,
than
yeah.
champions are doing with some of the guys that he just fought. But I don't know, man. Like I want to see
Yeah,
Jaron Ennis get the paydays and get the
yeah.
big fights that he truly deserves. I think to me he reminds me of Shane Mosley in his prime. I don't know if you knew too much
Woo!
about Shane in his prime. Before he got
Woo!
the big fight with De La Hoya, he was 34-0 with 32 knockouts.
Ooh.
To me, it seems like they're gonna do him the same way. They're gonna trying to wait for everybody to kind of mingle their way up to 54, or wait for some of these guys to relinquish their belts.
But he called out Earl Spence during the post-fight press conference, and he said, "I'm number 3 in the IBF. Why not Earl Spence next?" What do you think
Right.
that fight goes, and how does Jaron Ennis even fare with the top welterweights? UGC, what's happening?
Yeah, I think Jaron Ennis, does really good with him. Obviously, like I said before, hand speed, punching power. Last night, Jaron typically has good head movement, but last night he, wanted to, make a statement. He kept his head on the line and got hit with, maybe two shots, but one clearly got through. But I think he does, good against, I think he'll do great against Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Obviously Errol Spence has the detached retina, so We don't know, how his eye will hold up, and I'm sure, if he
And
comes
post
out,
and post car accident too.
yeah, and post car accident, he's looked pretty good.
You
You know,
cannot forget about that car accident, bro. I still don't think Earl Spence is 100% since his car accident. I mean, what do you think?
right? I mean,
And the retina too. I mean, you got to understand, Earl Spence has actually had a lot of work done on his body, and his body's been banged up recently, man. I mean, does that wear on a guy that's over 30 years old? Be honest, man.
oh yeah, it definitely does. But I guess the good thing about that is Errol Spence hasn't, I guess, really taken any, punishment as far as and you know punches in boxing, but definitely, having detached retinas and getting in car accidents and getting your body banged up, that definitely takes a toll on a guy his age. But as far as Errol Spence fighting, Terrence Crawford and Errol, I think he'll do a little better. Right now at this stage, I think he'll do a little bit better against Errol. But like I said, we don't know how Errol is going to come back with a detached retina. Obviously, people know if Sugar
Yeah.
Ray Leonard had detached retina, and it kind of makes you,
Smash that like button,
insecure.
y'all. Smash that like button. What did you say? Sugar Ray Leonard did what?
Yeah, for those who don't know, obviously Sugar Ray Leonard had a detached retina, and
Ooh.
when you come back after that, a lot of fighters don't make it out and fight after that. Some people do. When you come back after having detached retina, it'll kind of make you, insecure. Kind of like
Wow.
Kell Brook. He got his
Kel
orbital
Brook.
bone
Yeah, Kel
broken,
Brook. Yep,
and by
Kel
the time
Brook.
Terrence Crawford got him, he was kind of, insecure about the eye.
Yeah,
When you
you
get
right.
popped
You
on it, it's like,
100% right
how's
on
he
that,
gonna
man.
respond? So, yeah, I mean, I think Crawford will do a little bit better at this stage with Errol Spence than he would Terrence Crawford. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jaron Ennis can beat Errol and Crawford. But you can't, count out,
Wow, right
Crawford.
now you think you are you fake? Would you if Jaron Ennis were to fight Terrence Crawford, say he wins the Sean Porter tough battle, say he wins that and he gets through that, and say Earl Spence gets through his next fight. Earl Spence doesn't even have a fight lined up right now. So
Right,
we don't even have to say, oh well, Earl Spence got to get past his next fight. Remember, the WBA are saying you guys and Earl Spence can't fight. So Earl Spence is definitely looking for a partner right now.
right, right. I don't know. I mean,
I mean, how do you think? Would you put your money on Earl Spence right now over a more more younger fighter in Jaron Ennis, or would you put your money on Ennis right now? You're a bet man, DC Mike. You hear me? DC. But Chad,
can you hear me?
man, yeah, I can hear you now. I say you're a betting man. Who would you put your
Can
money on,
Can you hear
Earl
me?
Spence or Ennis?
You still here?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hold on one second. All right.
Yo,
Can you hear
can
me
you hear
now?
me? Yeah, can you hear
I don't
me?
know what happened. The volume went extremely low. I can barely hear you.
All right, can you hear me now? Let me see. Hold on. Yo, can you hear me?
It really low.
Hold on, real quick. Let me see.
Um,
What about now? Can you hear me?
no, it's about the same. Can I exit and come back in?
Yeah, exit and come back in, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna exit and come back.
Uh, all right. But Chad, man, I'm telling you guys, man, actual facts, what's going on? He says, morning, Corey Lee, and the whole chat. He says, oh shit, DC Mike TV, what's up? Yeah, man. I'm telling you guys, man, we got, Jaron Ennis versus Earl Spence could be actually up sooner than we thought, man. I mean, does Earl Spence accept this challenge, man? Does a guy like Earl Spence accept this challenge, bro? It's one of those things, man. Yo, can you hear me, bro?
I can hear you better. Yeah.
Yeah, we back, baby. But Chad, man, does Earl Spence accept this challenge, DC Mike? And who do you have your money on? Ennis versus Crawford and Ennis versus Spence. Are you picking any of these veterans over the young, hungry, very hungry Lion. And he says he wants a title shot in his next fight. Where's your money going, man? You're a betting man.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not that much of a bet. I'm not that much of a betting man, but if he was to fight any of those two guys, I probably wouldn't bet at all because it's a, like I said, in my opinion, it's a pick'em fight. I would not bet on that fight.
Who would you lean towards though? Ennis versus Crawford.
Um,
Remember,
maybe.
Crawford got hurt in a couple of his last fights. He's got hurt. They say he got hurt in the Velasquez fight. He got knocked down in that fight, and they say he got stunned in the other fight as well. So how do you feel like that's going down?
Yeah, Jaron Ennis definitely has the punching power to hurt
Whoa,
Crawford. Obviously, Gamboa did it. Kevalauskas did it. When he kind
whoa,
of buckled him
whoa.
and he kind of held him, and his knee kind of touched the canvas. But I think
Yeah,
like I said, he definitely has the punching power to hurt. I think more so Crawford than Spence. But I think all those fights are 50-50 fights. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ennis can defeat Crawford and Earl Spence. But like I said, we have to obviously have to give Earl Spence
yeah. We
probably
got to see.
up in
Yeah.
between that because you don't want to have him come off an eye injury and then have him jump in there with a undefeated hungry lion. You have
Yeah,
to
and I
give him at least
mean,
one, maybe two too much.
right now, DC man, Jaron Ennis is looking very, very powerful, man. Do you see him fighting for his next title shot? And another thing, I don't know if you watched the Jamal James versus Avenaki. I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name, y'all. I cannot. The pronunciation is
The
not
guy that
there.
came out with the afro, the
Yeah, the
wig.
guy. Yo, my friend was like, "Yo, he got an afro." I was like, "No, that's just like his little culture or whatever. That's not actually his real hair." But
Yes,
Chad, man, that guy came out guns blazing. Jamal James said in the ninth round he could barely walk. His abdomen was hurting so bad from the body attack that this guy was giving him, and the guy, the Abanaskis, he came in and he butchered Jamal James. Jamal James is no longer the WBA interim belt holder. He actually said he wouldn't mind a fight with Jaron Ennis. I think Jaron Ennis destroys and completely runs through Jamal James. That's not. I don't even think Jamal James needs to look Jaron Ennis's way, man. How do you feel? How do you feel? Because both of these guys were on the card, DC Mike, and we know about cards. Most of the time, when you see two welterweights matched up like that on the same card, they normally the winner fights the winner, right?
pretty much, pretty much.
How do you
Like I said,
see how do you see both winners of Saturday night's welterweight showdown? How do you see both winners faring against each other? How do you see
I'm, I,
Ennis versus Africanascus?
I think Ennis can defeat him just because of speed alone and his footwork.
I mean, this guy's coming in like a raging bull, like Sean Porter ish. Did you watch that fight? I mean, he came in guns blazing, dude, from round one.
Yeah, you talking about the main event last night, right?
Yeah, the main event on Showtime.
I mean, I didn't see the whole fight, but I obviously saw the stoppage in the round he stopped him in.
Yeah.
Just I'm gonna give everybody a fun fact. The guy that came out that fought Jamal James, I met him maybe 2 or 3 years ago at a card in Maryland promoted by Jetta Promotions. It was back
Wow.
in sometime in 2019. He fought a guy named Leonardo Tyner. I think he used to be a Mayweather fighter. He fought in the Tony Jetta card at the Maryland Lab Casino. He fought Leonardo Tyner. I think at the time Leonardo was I don't know 20-8 or 20-10 or something. And everybody was obviously looking for him to stop Leonardo, but he didn't. He beat him on the decision. So I guess with that, being said, I'm like, if Leonardo can stand in with him without getting stopped, and he stopped Jamal James, comparing them to Jaron Ennis, I know Jaron wouldn't have no problems with him. Maybe just on pressure,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
speed,
You
footwork,
gotta you gotta think about that firepower coming back too, though.
yeah,
Jaron Ennis's firepower coming back is way more dangerous than Jamal James' firepower, in my personal opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Jamal is like what 6'2", 6'3", or something.
Yeah, Jamal James is about 6'3", 147.
Yeah, he's tall like the yeah. He's built like the guy in our area, Mike Fox. Mike Fox like 6'4",
Yeah,
one
I
forty
knew you were gonna
seven.
say one of the Fox brothers. Yep.
Yeah,
But
but
he's
yeah,
done well though. He beat a couple guys. He's done well.
yeah. Yeah, I definitely think Jaron Ennis has the, like I said, the footwork, speed, or power, and most importantly, the speed to defeat. I don't want to butcher his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. The guy that came out with the Afro wig.
Yeah, but look, smash the like button, you guys. We in the chat. Mike Biggs Boxing says salute Coily Boxing. Actual Fact says, oh shit, DC Mike TV, what's up? He says, Actual Fact says James, I think needs to move up. He looked drained, in my opinion. 6'2", sliming down to 147. I think James at 154 would have better legs. He just looked gassed, wasn't very mobile. That's very true, man. What you guys say about
Yeah,
that? I think that was a good, fair assessment.
yeah, that's what Jaron Ennis said in the post-fight interview. He was saying that Jamal James looked drained out, like he killed himself to make the weight. So I definitely agree with that. Maybe he would be a little bit better hydrated at 54.
You
I
guys got
agree.
to understand, man. Me and DC's mics have worked some of these fights, man. Some of these fighters at these weigh-ins look completely done, dude. Toasted.
They show up. They show up at the weigh. You see their cheekbones. I
What'd you say, DC?
said they show up to the weigh-in. You see their cheekbones. That's how you know they drained. They drained a lot of weight off.
Remember the Gary Russell Jr. versus JoJo Diaz fight? Remember JoJo Diaz was in the sauna like an hour before the fight?
Uh huh.
You guys gotta understand, man. This weight game is not a joke out here, bro. Especially for them tall, 147 pounds. You guys gotta understand a grown man that's in his 20s, late 20s. You know what I mean? It's hard for that man to get down to 147. I'm sorry, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you've been at that weight for a little while, which Jamal James has, I just personally think that he needs to move up to 150. And this is two style. This is I'm with the you guys fight with the distance versus him and Jamal James, or did it go? Did he stop him? I feel like it went the distance, but I feel like you guys could have stopped him. But he was talking about a you guys rematch. I think you guys destroys him in the second fight.
Destroys who? Jamal James.
Yeah, Jamal James pre-fight was talking about he wanted to get a rematch with Udonis Ugas that just beat Manny Pacquiao. How do you feel like a Jamal Ennis versus Ugas fight goes down?
You said Jamal James and Ugas,
Yeah,
a rematch. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't use the word destroy. That's just me. But I do think if he looked the way he looked last night,
yeah,
I think Ugas does a little bit of a better job on him. But that's just my
yeah.
opinion.
And DC Mike, I want to switch it up real quick because in recent news, I don't know if you heard about the allegations about Rolly Ramiro, but they're
I
talking about
did.
him and huh?
I did.
What?
Yeah, Cory,
Yeah,
it's
the way
crazy,
you said
man.
that shit, bro, it's like you already knew, man. You already knew.
Yeah. You
Man, the
said allegations. I
allegations,
said Rolly
are
Romero.
allegations at this point. We don't know anything set in stone. I feel like Beeves had a really good point. We talked on the phone last night. He said, look, Floyd Mayweather already was found guilty and still fought Marquez. It had to do 90 days after that. So, or one of those fighters. So it's like one of those things. Are we living in a day and age? I thought you were innocent until proven guilty. A lot of these fighters and sports players, they're actually, I feel like they're guilty until proven innocent. You know what I mean? Like right now, I just feel like we haven't seen anything. I haven't even heard of any charges. Have you heard of anything? DC Mike, smash that like button, y'all. What's up, Big
I
Mike
haven't
Henry,
read any
Boxing Nation?
reports, but it's coming from good sources that Rolly Romero is scratched off, and they're looking for
Wow.
another opponent.
Wow.
Like as I'm gonna mention again,
Wow.
I have not read any official reports or any
Okay.
statements from anybody, but
Okay.
the presidents and directors of Mayweather Promotions and Showtime there
Yeah.
are looking for another
Steven
opponent for Tank.
Espinoza.
Yep, yeah, Steven Nelson. They looking for another opponent for Tank. So Rolly Romero
So
is off.
yeah, so like I said, I don't know if you've heard. I'm actually gonna go even. I'm gonna even dive in deeper than that though, man. With this whole situation, man. I don't know if you heard in recent reports though, man, but recent reports have actually said that Regis Progress has been watching this whole situation play out, and the more this situations play out, Regis Rougarou Progress is pretty much telling Javante Davis on his Twitter account last night. As soon as last night, have you heard what he said yet, DC Mike?
I kind of skimmed over it. I don't know exactly what he said word for word, but I kind of skimmed it. But paraphrasing, basically, he'll take the fight with Tank at 140, right? Hold on one second. Excuse me. Excuse me.
No.
Okay. I need to take a quick picture. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to.
Do your thing,
No,
dog.
of both packages.
But Chad, man, I'm telling you guys, man, right now it's looking
One second.
like it's looking like I truly feel that,
Huh?
Regis Rougarou
Oh,
Progress versus
I'm just getting the
you
boxes. There you
know,
go.
versus
Mhm.
Tank Davis is a really good fight, man. I think that's a really, really good fight, man. I think that's a fight that a lot of people are sleeping on right now, man. I think Regis Rougarou Progress does well in that fight. I think he won that fight versus Josh Taylor. I scored it 7-5 for Regis Rougarou Progress. This guy's a Louisiana, Texas native. I really truly feel that this guy still is a good fighter, man. I mean, how do you feel like Regis Rougarou Progress sizes up against Javante Davis, DC Mike?
I think Regis does better than all the other guys. Until he gets caught. But if he doesn't get caught, I won't be surprised if he goes,
But
12 with Tank.
what if he catch? But DC Mike, what if Regis Rougarou Progress catches Javante Davis? We've seen Regis Progress have real power at 140. Okay,
Right.
Javante Davis is not a naturally 140-pound fighter, man.
No, he's not
I'm
a
just
not.
being honest. There's weight classes for a reason. Do they
Yeah.
take this fight against Regis Rougarou Progress?
Uh, I mean,
This
I
is
wouldn't
not
do it.
Rolly Romero. I repeat, this is definitely not Rolly Romero.
Right. Yeah, as far as on the technical standpoint, it's
Man,
not
this is a
Rolly.
whole different animal, dude. I think this is a harder fight. What do you think than the Rolly Romero fight? What do you think?
On the technical aspect, I think it is. I think the punching power may be. I think he may have a little bit less punching power than Rolly. That's just
Well,
my
Rolly
opinion,
got
but
to be able to land that bullshit, though, DC Mike.
right,
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, a lot of people don't understand that he's got to be able to land that bullshit.
right. And Rolly
I think
Romero,
Regis Progress would land that his shit quicker than anything Rolly's throwing. My personal opinion, but styles make fights, and Rolly is very unorthodox.
right, right. I think he'd have a better shot of landing a shot on Tank than Rolly would, but would the punching power be the same as Rolly? I don't know. I don't think so. But like you said again, Tank is not 140 pounder. Obviously, he walks around at 65, maybe 70, but he's 5'5", 5'6", and he's a bit short for that weight class. But if I don't know if I was him, I wouldn't take it with Regis.
This is
And
what
once
Regis
again,
Rougarou Progress said on his Twitter handle, you guys. Okay, it says R Progress at R Progress. Okay, Chris Mannix. We all know Chris Mannix. He works for SI. He's a boxing reporter. He says PBC Showtime are at. This was yesterday, you guys. PBC and Showtime are actively looking for opponents to replace Rolly Romero on December 5th. Sources tell SI Now Romero and young undefeated lightweight contender has been accused of multiple women of sexual something. So Regis says at Chris Mannix, he says, I'll fight his little ass on short notice Floyd and Leonard both said that they loved that fight. But we all know that's bullshit. Tank ain't fighting no elite fighters anytime soon, even on short notice. Let's see who they gonna find for him. Wow, what do you say to that, DC Mike? Wow, he's coming at
Yeah,
him, dude. He's coming at him.
yeah. And with all that being said, if he ironically don't take it, people gonna say, "Oh, Tank, he duck Regis progress."
He's saying Regis Progress is saying he'll fight Tank on short notice now.
Yeah, I mean,
Javante Davis replied. Javante Davis just replied, okay? He says, you hearing what I'm saying, DC?
yeah,
Javante Davis says, you looking for a payday. I heard Shakur killed in sparring. He says, don't do that. He says, I'll be gladly to retire you, bitch.
yeah.
What?
Choice words being thrown out back and forth. But
So
like I
they
said,
going
I
back and
think
forth. So how do you see that playing out, man?
it's a good fight for both of them. Obviously, I think Tank is one of the most skillful and smartest fighters out there. But obviously, the con he has at 140 is he's 5'5" or 5'6". He's short. Like he had obviously he had problems with Mario Barrios because he was what 5'10", 5'11", and Regis
Yeah,
is what I don't know 5'9", 5'10" or something.
yeah.
And he has a little bit of skill. So anybody, obviously that has some skill and they're tall will give, Tank some problems until, he catches up with him. Because a guy can be tall and don't have
Wow.
skill and won't give Tank any problems. But if you got like case in point, like he fought the guy named Hugo Ruiz. He was what 5'9" or something. He was
Uh-huh.
towering over Tank. He didn't have skill. So
Junior
Tank
the
was able to, huh?
Junior the Truth in the chat. Hey, Mike, Junior the Truth in the chat. Shout out to Junior the Truth in his YouTube channel. He says, we haven't seen Rolly's power at 140, let alone against elite competition. He says Tank would not fight Rougarou ever. He says, payday is that duck dynasty terminology. I don't like it. What do you say to that, DC Mike?
Hold on 1 second. Whoops. I'm sorry. Can you read that one more time? I'm sorry, Corey. I'm moving
He said,
around.
we haven't seen Rolly's power at 140, let alone against elite competition. Tank would not fight Rougarou ever. He says, payday is that Duck Dynasty terminology. I don't like it.
uh, wow.
You think Tank is ducking Rougarou? Smash that like button, y'all. Come on, man. Stop playing with me, man.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm not even being funny. I don't even know who that is.
Who?
Rookie Roo. Who was that?
Rougarou, Regis Progress.
Oh, nickname. Is
Yeah,
he
that's his
ducking him at
Twitter
40?
handle and shit.
You said is he ducking him at 40?
Yeah, is he? Do you think he's gonna duck? Do you think Javante Davis is gonna duck Regis Progress?
Again, I don't think no fighter is scared of no fight. I don't think Tank is
Okay,
ducking nobody. I don't think
okay,
Regis is ducking. I don't think none of these
okay,
fighters duck anybody. I don't think no fighter is scared of no fighter.
okay,
People
okay.
obviously know boxing. I'm gonna get a big technical. Boxing is a
Be
business.
get
People have
real
to
with Junior the
understand
Truth.
that.
Junior the Truth need to hear this shit, man. So go ahead, man. Spit that shit.
Boxing is a business. Tank has a promoter. Even if Tank say, yeah, give me him next. Mayweather has all this
He
stuff.
ain't.
Leonard Ellaby and Mayweather has this stuff planned out. Just like,
Wow.
if you sign the Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy, you can say, oh, give me that fight next. Give me him. De La
Uh huh.
Hoya, if you with De La Hoya, he has this stuff mapped out. Like, these fighters aren't scared or ducking anybody. I
Wow.
don't know why fans keep saying, "Oh, he's scared," or he's ducking. I don't think
Yeah,
nobody's scared.
Junior the
Like,
Truth said it's. He said it's a duck dynasty over there, whatever terminology. He says he doesn't like
yeah, I hear you, brother. I don't,
it.
I don't think no fighter is scared of any fighter. Like case in point, I'm gonna go back to 1988.
Man, throw that shit in there, man. They need to hear this shit, man. Go ahead, man.
I don't know if anybody remember when Mike Tyson fought Mike Spence in 1988. Now most people Probably didn't even know who the hell Mike Spinks was, but they knew Mike Tyson. Everybody was probably jumping on, Tyson bandwagon. Oh, Tyson gonna knock him out. Oh, Mike Spinks looked scared. But if you look at all Mike Spinks fights, Mike Spinks always looked that way. He always looked, and even when he fought Larry Holmes, Jerry Cooney, he looked that way in all his fights. He looked down, he didn't look at his opponent. So again, Mike Spinks was not afraid of Mike Tyson. That's how Mike Spinks fight. That's how he always looks. And, I guess the analogy is, no fighter is scared of no fighter. So I think
But you
fans
gotta
need to.
understand, a lot of people are saying that Regis Progress fight is a tough fight for Tank, man. So you gotta understand, like, some of these fans, they feel like Tank hasn't fought the elite guys yet. What do you say to that?
Okay. He ain't fighting on elite guys? All right. So what was Mario Barrios?
Yeah, yeah.
He was the champion. How many belts did he have? One? He had one belt, right?
He had what? I think it was the WBA belt, I think.
Yeah. He was a champion, but people wrote him off. He was what? I don't know, 25-0 or something. He was still garbage. He fought
He said, he says the fan is the business of boxing, homie.
I get that y'all pay y'all money for the pay-per-view. I get that. I get it. But you can't tell me these fighters are scared of other fighters. I get the fans paying money. But no fighter is scared of another fighter. They have boxing is a business. It's more of a business than it's ever been. So if you were a promoter, they pull the strings. You have no say so. Any promoter. So people gotta understand that. Calling fighters scared and he ducking them. You need to talk to the promoter. Don't talk to the fighter about that. To be honest, what you gonna talk to the fighter about that for, man? You duck so and so. No fighter scared of no fighter.
What do you say? They saying that the fighters are ducking out here, DC. I mean, what do you say to that? I mean, so you feel like Tank ain't ducking no smoke at 140 or 135 or
Yeah, no
130?
fighter.
They're saying Shakur. I done heard Beeb told me before. Beeb already told me he thinks that Shakur Stevenson is better than Tank Davis. What do you think, my brother? Just off that one performance that Shakur had, because Beebs had Herring. He thought Herring was going to beat Shakur Stevenson, but then once Shakur Stevenson put on that dominant performance, he says that he thinks Shakur Stevenson beats Tank Davis now from the Herring performance. So what do you think, DC Mike?
If he can outbox him long enough, if he can stay away and outbox him, but if he can't outbox Tank, I don't know if people remember Tank used to spar Devin Haney and Shakur.
Okay.
For those who don't know what happened, first time around, Tank pretty much wiped both of them out.
Whoa.
Don't know if anybody knew that. Y'all can,
let's throw that out there. This is exclusive content. Tune in. Repeat that, DC Mike. Sparring wars.
Yep, your Tank pretty much, got the best of Devin Haney and Shakur the first time around. Obviously, anything after that, they, got a bit better. But like I said, if Shakur fights Tank, obviously he will have to stay away, outbox him, time up. And, if he can do that and stay away, he can, win a decision.
Okay, you think he can win a decision?
Conditioning, for some odd reason, is not on point. Or if he's, he's outboxing Tank or beating to the punch or whatever, and Tank's still coming forward, and Shakur, happens to get, tired or whatever. Once he get tired, Tank coming on. Tank ain't gonna get tired.
You feel like Tank ain't gonna get tired. He doesn't have stamina problems.
Nah. Nope.
Do you feel like at this point right now in Shakur Stevenson's young career, if he were to face Tank in the next, let's just say, 2 to 3 fights, how do you see that fight going down at 135? A catch one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stick to the same answer. If he can stay away and outbox him and stay away.
If who can stay away?
If Shakur Stevenson can stay away, outbox him, Time up when need
But I
be.
thought you were saying that Tank Davis wiped him out.
No, I said he wiped him out the first time they sparred.
So you wouldn't pick him to win. You wouldn't pick that same guy that wiped them guys out to win the fight.
I mean, I would, but I wouldn't be surprised if Shakur can. He's a smart fighter, so I wouldn't be surprised. How you doing? I wouldn't be surprised if he could, outbox him, stay away, and outbox him the man. And I'm not saying he gonna beat. He no problem. I'm not saying he would, beat Tank up or give him a black eye, nothing like that. But like I said, just outbox him, time up. Obviously, he probably wouldn't hurt Tank with his punches, but
Yeah.
Stick it, no problem. Stick and move, time up when you're getting close, and if he could do that, he can win. Some type of a decision. But if Tank is able to close that gap,
Whoa.
and Tank got good damn defense himself.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't gonna be hitting Tank. A lot of people say, "Oh, Tank is he's just a power puncher. He's just coming forward, knocking
They
people
don't
out."
be really hitting Tank flush like that. I've noticed that.
Yeah, what you say, Cory?
They don't be hitting Tank flush like that. I've noticed that. He gets a lot of grazing shots on him.
Yeah, Tank has good damn defense, man. I remember a lot of people used to say, "Oh, Tank is the one trick pony. He just come forward and knock you out." I'm like, no.
Yeah.
He actually has
Wow.
good defense. He can pivot. He's light on his feet, so. But yeah, man, I think Shakur can possibly get a decision, but Tank and if Shakur ain't hitting him, that'll be like cat and mouse, obviously, type of fight. It'll be cat and mouse to
Actual.
where,
Hey, look. Actual. Hold on. Excuse me. Actual facts says in the chat. He says. He says. He says the promoters have invested no less than $1 million into top tier fighters. They will have a return on investment that entails having preset opponents picked carefully by the promoter. That's
okay,
pretty
the
much
last
what
part is
you were
still,
saying, right? Right, DC?
yeah, the last part I agree with. Where he getting his $1 million from? Where he get that information from? I just want to know.
Yo, actual fact says DC Mike TV knows what he's talking about. It's no cap.
Where did you
Then
get that
Junior
$1
the
million
truth. Huh?
cap off from?
Huh?
The $1 million cap. Where did he get that number from?
Yo, come on now.
Your
Yo,
brother, where'd you get that number from? That $1 million cap off?
come on now. Let me see. Let me see. Hold
I agree with the second part. Well, the last part.
on. He said the promoters have invested no less than $1 million into top tier fighters.
Okay, so where'd he get that number from, though? Is that his opinion or is that a fact? Or I'm just asking.
Oh shit. Good morning, y'all. Good afternoon. So look. Oh, shout out to Mike Biggs Boxing, bro. With the $20 donation, man. He says, salute. Boots Ennis should have been the headliner last night. In my opinion, Tank washes Rougarou, aka Regis Progress. Shakur is an elite right now. He needs big fights. Whoa, whoa. What you say to that, DC Mike? That's Mike Biggs Boxing from the DMV. What you say to that, though, dog?
What's up, Mike Biggs? I didn't know you some DC brother. Nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying? If you got Instagram, you can follow me. But I think Tank is Shakur is an elite fighter. I think he deserves big fights. But
Okay.
once again, it's a business. I don't know how much Shakur Stevenson is getting. You know what I mean, as far as paychecks, but
What you
it
mean
can't.
it's a business, man? We can't get the fights, DC? What the fuck, man?
I mean, it can't be no what you call it, a high risk, low reward type thing. I mean, it's all a business. I mean, if
Damn,
people
man. So
take
we
a
ain't gonna be able
gamble,
to see a Shakur Stevenson versus Javante fight. You don't think we'll see that in the next 2 or 3 fights?
Shakur and Javante.
Uh, no.
Yeah, I think so.
You think we could for real?
Yeah, but Shakur got to come up to 35. I don't think Tank should go back down to 30. I really don't.
So you don't think he should go back down? You don't think so?
No, I think he'll kill himself doing it.
So you're saying right now, like the way everything is right now, do you think right now, do you think Tank is one of the best at 130? What that's what I'm saying. What weight class do you put Tank at right now?
And right
Is
now,
he at is
35.
he the best at 130? Is he the best at 135? Or is he the best at 140, DC? Come
He's
on
not a
now.
100 pounder. Which people stop saying, oh, he can. It's like one. I just noticed one thing. Once people start considering you the number one guy, like on a Mayweather level, like oh, he's on the age level, and Mayweather's like so damn high, he's in space somewhere. I'm just noticing people are putting Tank on that level already. So if Tank beats
Uh,
the champion, ain't nobody want to see, or he ain't fight nobody. So someone's like, man, you can't. Sometimes you can't worry about what people say. It's
so
never
you
gonna be.
saying so what you saying though, DC? I mean, how you going with this one?
I'm sorry, I threw a line to that statement. What was the question again?
It's the DMV, motherfuckers. Yeah, that's my dog, man. He says salute. Boost Ennis should have been the headliner last night. In my opinion, Javante Tank Davis washes Rougarou, aka Regis Progress, and Shakur is an elite right now. He needs big fights.
Oh yeah, that's true. He does need big fights. Um, um, I'm getting brain fog. What's the guy that fought Gary Russell Jr. What's his name? That beat Gary Russell a few years ago.
Who you? Oh, you talking about Lomachenko? Uh oh.
Yeah, Lomachenko was able to get title fight in 5 or 6 fights. I think Shakur deserves it.
How do you see a Shakur Stevenson versus Lomachenko fight goes down? Smash that like button, y'all. Stop playing. Let's get these likes up. Come on. Lomachenko versus what's up, Trap Media? What's going on, bro? Let me know if you're trying to jump on, Trap. Salute, my brother. Crypto was popping. We gotta get Mike a wrench. I mean DC. I mean Trap Media. But Chad, DC, how do you feel? How do you see a Lomachenko, okay, versus a Lomachenko versus Shakur Stevenson fight? How do you see that's going down, bro? Be honest with me, bro.
Cat and mouse fight. 50 fight once again.
Yo, come
I don't know
on,
who I would
man.
pick.
Huh?
I really don't. I don't know who I would pick. I think it's a pick 'em fight still, even though Lomachenko's 34. I still think he's good enough to compete with these other good guys out here.
You think so?
Yeah,
For real?
yeah. I don't think he's not washed.
So you don't think he's washed?
No.
So he can still fight these top tier guys right now.
Yeah.
Oh, all right then. Come on, y'all. What y'all want to do? If y'all want to come in, let me know. Let me know, man. There go the link right there, y'all. Smash that like button. Let's get these likes up. It's DC Mike and Corley motherfucking boxing, dog. Me and DC Mike go way back, man. He said, "Can you repeat that, please?"
I'll come down. Okay, thanks.
Hey, DC. Junior the Truth says Lomachenko has Teofimo Lopez issues. Junior the Truth says, I'm looking for Shakur to unify. Wow. What do you think about Lomachenko versus Teofimo? I mean, does he still have Teofimo or are we over that now?
I mean, it should be a rematch. I mean, he gave him a shot. It's only right for him to give him a shot back. It wasn't right how they, did Teofimo in the beginning as if, it was going to be a whitewash. Because I don't think he put a rematch clause in his contract.
You don't think he did?
No. He was that confident that he was going to beat him, so he didn't put a rematch clause. So when he got beat, and that's the way they treated Teofimo, he's like, okay, the way y'all treat me at the beginning, I ain't going to give you a rematch. So, it's a
Wow.
bit of
Oh, so that's how they doing that. So, I mean, do you think right now, I mean, listen, though, I mean, you got to understand, DC, boxing is a business. I mean, do you see Lomachenko being at the top ever again?
Yeah.
I mean, are we gonna go ahead and say he's a wash fighter, or do you? I mean, I know what I personally think. I'm gonna come right behind. I'm gonna come right after your comment, and I'm gonna say what I gotta say. But go ahead and let me know about Lomachenko. I mean, can he still beat an elite fighter? Can he still beat a guy like Shakur Stevenson? Can he still beat a guy like Devin Haney? What do you think?
He can and then he can't. Like thinking fighters like that, like Tank, Shakur, Devin, they'll give anybody problems. Anybody. Like thinking fighters, I mean, it just be like, who got the better brain, and that's just who in better condition, who got the better brain, basically. So I mean, if he's looking
But you
to
gotta understand, man. He says Crypto Colors in the chat says Crypto Colors in the chat. Shout out to Trap Media in the building. What's happening, Trap Media? What's
What's
going
pop?
on, my brother? He's
What's
in here.
poppin'? What's
Trap
poppin'?
Media, meet DC Mike. What's happening?
what's going on,
What's
brother
poppin'?
man?
What's
Trap
poppin'?
me.
DC
Hold on. I
Mike,
gotta.
man. We
Hold
we
on. I'm about to
cooking
go out and
right
come
now.
back in.
Huh? What did he say? He gonna come back in? All right. Crypto
Yeah.
Color says in the future Shakur beats Lopez, then calls out Tank after Tank beats Haney. Wow. Wow. Did you hear that?
Uh yeah. Like
How do you feel
uh,
about that? He says in the future Shakur beats Lopez, then calls out Tank after Tank beats Haney. Wow. So he thinks Tank's gonna beat Haney, and he thinks Shakur Stevenson's gonna beat Lopez. How do you feel about that breakdown? Are you pretty much on par? Do you agree with that? 100%?
not no. 50-50 in my opinion. These guys are like the fair fourth, so to speak. So I mean, they're that damn good to win. And I agree with, yeah. I don't even agree with the Tank and Devin fight. I think that's kind of 50-50, but obviously I've been knowing Tank, a little while now, and I'm gonna,
Yeah.
rock with him. But like I said, guys that thinking type fighters, smart thinking fighters that balk, yeah, nobody problems. Whether it's Tank, Shakur, Tenko, vice versa.
What do you think, Trap Media? Salute Trap Media, man. How you doing today, my brother?
What's going on, man? I'm feeling blessed. Feeling blessed. But
The question is,
my
Crypto Color says future. He says in the future, Shakur beats Lopez, and he says and Tank beats Devin Haney. Do you agree with that 100%?
man, come on, y'all gotta stop, man. Like all of the boxing fans, y'all gotta turn it down a
Yo,
little bit. Like
DC coming in this joint, man.
look,
Coming in
look,
this
look,
joint.
look. A great man named Drake once said, "What's up with these new niggas?" And why they think it all comes so easy? That's cause y'all niggas just give it to him for doing nothing. Like a nigga be
Ooh,
an average nigga, and y'all will be
ooh,
like, "Oh my god, he'll beat an accomplished nigga like Earl, who
yeah.
beat Danny, Sean Porter, so Kell Brook." Like you try to discredit a nigga who proven for a nigga who just beat an average nigga. Like the same shit they doing with Boots. Boots beat Dulorme. Okay, the nigga got
Yo,
28 fights and fought one nigga.
Yo,
Lippin, that's the
DC,
only
you
credible
did say
opponent.
that you did say Ennis would give him problems, though. You did say Ennis would probably beat, Earl Spence or Crawford. It's a 50-50 fight. Do
Nigga,
you feel
I
like that,
seen
Trap
niggas talk
Media?
about Jermail. They've been saying he beat Jermail too now. It's like he fought one person. That's
Oh
it.
my,
A lot of these
oh
top
my.
guys gonna look good against Delorme at this point. What Earl do to Ocampo?
Wow.
Got him out of there. Like when he fight them level guys, don't he do the same thing? So
Wow, he's saying Earl
if
Spence
we
fought
only
Ocampo, DC Mike. Do you agree with that? Is that the same level of competition with Dulorme and Ennis?
and
Yeah,
this Ocampo
basically.
was young too.
So Compo
Delorme
was
old.
undefeated, right? Like, was he
Yeah, yeah,
13
Yeah,
and
he
0 or
had
undefeated.
never
something?
been beat. He had never been beat or knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I didn't know
No,
too
I'm
much
saying
about Ocampo before he
no,
fought him,
no, but I'm
but
saying Delorme at this ain't like young Delorme. This Delorme after he done got dropped by whooped by Crawford, few other losses. He's older now. He just got out of war in his last fight, so this ain't like a prime Delorme or even a mid. This Delorme on the back end of his career. The Lipinets fight, I give him credit for. That's a good win. But I'm saying out of 28 fights, you only fought one guy that I could say, all right, I give you credit for that. But you got guys like Tiafimo who fought Lomachenko on his 15th fight. So we can't compare niggas. It's these apples and oranges. What do we like? Heron and
Yeah.
Lomachenko, it's two different levels. All of these guys look good. That's at the next level against lower tier guys. Let's let these niggas prove it. We be pumping their head up before they even do something. Then they feel like they don't owe us nothing because we already gave them their flower for beating average niggas. We fucking the sport up as fans. We
yeah,
fucking the
you
sport.
make
We killing this.
Is that how you feeling, DC? How you feeling
yeah,
about that?
yeah, you make a good point, brother. Like you said, a lot of people are
Yeah.
basically putting too much pressure on these guys when they 15 and 0 and stuff like that. Oh, he's the best fighter in the world. He's
Yeah.
greater than Muhammad Ali. I'm like, okay, wait for him to get at least 35 wins in, at least, or 40 wins, and then you can make the statement.
And,
But I agree with
and,
that. Like,
and let some of
they
those
putting
be
up.
unless some of those be somebody. Let some of them be somebody. Like not just one.
Yeah, they putting the pressure on Tank. They was putting it on Anthony Joshua. He was just 21 fights, and oh, he's the greatest thing ever. I'm like, he's only 21 fights in. Like, give Tank, let him get to at least 35 and 0, and then put the title on him. Like, y'all putting a lot of pressure on guys is just 20, 22 fights in. It's ridiculous.
Dilemma.
I mean, they're
And
saying
that's
they're saying just off the Herring win, they're saying Shakur Stevenson is actually. I mean, I've heard Beef Boxing. He's been doing reporting for 20 years. He said that after the Shakur Stevenson win over Herring, he's picking Shakur Stevenson over Javante Davis off of that win.
yeah, I've been hearing a lot of that. I've been hearing he pound for pound off of that,
What?
and
Let me
it's
ask
just
you
like,
guys this. Let me ask you guys this. What the fuck does Javante Davis do to Herring at 130? Straight up, straight the fuck up. If
I mean,
I
Shakur
think
did that to Jamel Herring, what the fuck do you think Javante's gonna do to him?
I
I
mean,
think he putting him in
is that a
respect.
rhetorical question?
I'm being honest though. I want to know because I think he destroys them even faster, even more
Yeah,
impressively. My
yeah,
Yeah,
personal opinion. I'm just calling. I'm just calling it how I see it, dog. I know Javante Davis's power is real, dog. For real.
yeah. I don't want to see that fight. What's the point?
No,
yeah.
I'm just
That's
saying. A lot of
he a
people are
plate.
saying that Shakur is this big, superstar, and he's, going to beat everybody in the division and move up and beat everybody at 135 as well off of the Jamel Herring fight. All I'm saying is, what does Javante Tank Davis do to Jamel Herring in that same fight?
Oh,
Yeah,
he'll
That's
make
and
my question to both of y'all.
quicker work. 2 or 3 rounds, he knocked out. Like put down. Like Shakur didn't put him down. Tank will put him down. Like
What you
literally.
yeah,
mean put him down, DC? I don't think the fucking fans know, dog. What you mean?
Like face down, ass up, ass on the canvas.
yeah, yeah. I agree with all that. That's a body. That's the body. That's one of them. Like, is he okay? Is his wife running to the
Yep.
ring? Stretcher, call the EMS. Put the
Yo,
kids
no
Yeah.
to
way,
bed.
Trap Media. No, no, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. It's levels. They'd be comparing Tank with Shakur when Tank them beat niggas like Pedraza. Tank them moved up to 40 and beat a way bigger Barrios than his body type. Like, so it's like, what we talking about? He done beat Santa Cruz better than Heron. Like, what, at 130. Like, who is Heron? I
It
mean,
says
Heron a
Mike
good
Big
dude, but who is
Boxing
Heron?
says Delorme's been dropped 9 times in his career. They keep feeding Boots these washed up fighters, and that's why he got that KO streak. Boots is nice though, but we need to see him fighting elite competition. What do you guys say
Right.
to that?
Hey, can I ask y'all before we jump into that? Can I ask y'all a couple questions real quick? Do y'all? Can I ask y'all a couple questions real quick?
Go ahead, go ahead.
I'm about to name a couple names. I just want to know, have y'all ever heard of these names? Juan Abreu,
No.
No,
Batier Ebal,
No.
no,
Damian Fernandez,
No.
no.
Franklin Maani.
No.
No,
What-
no.
I got one more. I got one more for you. Raymond Serrano.
Yeah.
I think I
All
heard
right,
of Serrano though.
I know
all
Ray
right,
Serrano. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I do know Ray Serrano. Yeah, I know
all right.
him.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying a lot of those. And then we got Mike Armades,
Whose
Samuel
record? Who are they
Amato.
on? Who is that?
I'm on Boots. I'm on the greatest fighter in the world right now, Boots Ennis. I'm on his box score. 28 fights, and it's a lot of guys. Like we don't know who these guys are, and we follow boxing. I mean, but a lot of these guys, it's like who? So the Chris Van Eerden fight, I like what I seen, but it got
Okay.
disqualified. Whatever happened, they had to end it. The Sergey Lipinets fight, that's a very good win. And then Thomas Delorme, we know he was 25-5-1. I'm just saying, like you were saying, what would Tank do against Heron? We gotta pump the brakes. Let these guys earn it. We can't pump their head up too much. That's a Shakur Boots. They might possibly be the next best thing, but
Yeah.
let them prove it. Let them prove it.
Yeah.
Who and I think Boots need to be chasing the number one in the IBF. Boots need to be chasing the a big UK fight with Conor Ben. Boots need to be chasing get some other guys because you know the other
Nah, man.
guys
Nah.
look.
I want to see Jaron Ennis fight these motherfuckers now, dog. I'm sorry.
But they
I'm
but they
sorry,
tied
dog.
they
I
tied
see where
up.
you're going with that trap media, but fuck no. I think this dude is ready, man. DC Mike, what do you think? I think Jaron Ennis is ready, man. I think he's ready right now, dog. So,
It
and
was
I'm
he
not
29 in there?
basing that off of the Dulorme performance because I could care less what the fuck he did to him. Me and fucking DC Mike and Beebs boxing from Ringside Reporter was on a three-way call last night talking about which fucking round we think he gonna get stopped in. So we knew he was gonna get stopped. We just didn't know what round he was gonna get stopped in. I was the only one on the phone call that say, "Damn, I like the money at first and second round plus 5,500." I said that shit. So I'm like, at the end of the day, I knew what the fuck he was gonna do. But at the end of the day, I truly feel like, I truly feel like Jaron Ennis is ready for that next level, man. I think he needs to be on that elite level. I think he needs to fight Earl Spence, Danny Garcia, shit, Philly versus Philly, y'all. What else? He's got some other good fights out there at
But
147. What's some other names you guys want to see him fight? I know what you said, Trap Media. You said
I
you
would
want to
like
see him fight Conor Ben.
Conor Ben. I would like Conor Ben. I thought Jesse Vargas beat Mikey Garcia, so I would like to see a Jesse Vargas. I like to see him put himself in position by either beating Vic or Virgil Ortiz to get that WBO position or that WBA position, or beat the number one in the IBF. Just something like that right before, because the champ's tied up. Earl already said he going to 54, so that's not gonna happen at 47. He got two more fights and he going to 54. Danny already
Mm.
said he moving up. Sean Porter and Bud Crawford fighting right now, so you got to get something in between while we in the finale of one generation of the
But right now,
welterweights.
Earl Spence does not have a fight, Trap Media. Earl Spence does not have. They said you guys and Earl Spence can't fight. They're saying something about you guys got to fight. It's mandatory Stanionis. So Earl
But why
Spence
he
can fight anybody he chooses right now. He doesn't have any mandatories. Okay,
the,
Ennis is already number 3 in the IBF, which Earl Spence had an IBF title. I
yeah,
truly feel, why not? Let's just see it, man. I mean, do you guys think, is it too soon for Ennis, or would you guys go ahead and let the dog off the leash, man? Do you guys let this man Ennis fucking, do his thing right now? What do you think?
but you know the IBF is strict. They not just gonna let him jump over the number one dude. So
But
if he don't have a fight, they'll let you do a unification. But if he don't have a fight, IBF gonna make you fight your mandatory. So that's why I'm saying he might as well get the number one out the way.
What you think, DC?
Think you make a good point. I want to see Jaron, get in there and make some money for him and his family, and get him a nice house and all that. But I think you make a good point, my friend. Everybody's tied up, like he said, and like I said, I look at Jaron, like I said before earlier. I look at him as a prime Shane Mosley. When before he got the big fight with De La Hoya, he was 34-0, 32 knockouts. That was his big payday. I think Jaron can get done the same way. And
Cool,
what is he,
cool.
29-0?
Yeah, 28 or 29 and all right now.
And
The
he's
number
got a
one.
good record. It ain't like he just got in the pros. He's been in the pros for a couple years now. Why not let him loose, y'all?
Yeah,
Oh no,
they gonna wait
I'm
for them.
saying
I mean,
it makes
like what
sense,
the fuck?
but no, it makes sense. I'm just saying the IBF not gonna let you jump. The dude from Uzbekistan, Kudratilo Abrakarov, he gonna have to knock him off first. So why not
So
Yeah.
just get
y'all,
that
so
early?
y'all
You ain't taking
saying,
no
so
damage.
y'all saying Jaron Ennis got to fight the guy that just beat Jamal James next. That's what you saying?
Oh yeah, he could.
No,
Yeah.
no, they in the tournament. They gotta fight the winner of Ugas and the other dude. His name leaving me right now. He just beat Jamal James. They gotta fight the winner of that fight. But I'm saying he can he can knock off the IBF and still be in line. So even if Earl do move up, he gonna get the shot at the vacant belt. You know he ain't getting Virgil Ortiz right now because they team already said he not ready. I would like to see that fight. Him and Virgil would let us know a lot, but Robert Garcia and them said no.
Crypto
Yeah.
Colors in the chat says they need to let fighters fight and forget about being undefeated. He says, and when a fighter does lose, let them keep getting fights. Don't stop their bag. That's one thing I
Well, they ain't stopping it.
Yeah. No, you muted, Corey Lee. We can't hear you. You muted.
Damn sure can't hear nothing he's saying.
Oh, you said 1 minute. But look, I think we left that era of crypto. What you think going on? That's over with. Sean Porter ended that because Sean Porter lost to Kell Brook, came back, got a bag with Keith Thurman, lost to Keith Thurman, came back, got a bag with Earl Spence. I mean, so and now he getting a bag with Bud Crawford. All title contentions. We still hold Sean Porter in a high regard. That's why I say it's so important to hold him at the gold standard because it not only shows a perfection like Floyd, it shows that you can go through a loss, come back through adversity, and like Keith Thurman said, most people not themselves after a loss. He's still the same. Sean Porter still bringing that same intensity. We don't see no lack in the gym. We don't see him blowing up in weight. We still see him working outside the ring. Everything revolves around boxing. So that's why I always say Sean Porter should be the gold standard because if he the gold standard, everybody will be more prepared to fight everybody because you won't worry about loss
Right. They make a good
behind a
point.
fighter like that.
They need to let a fighter fight. Yeah. You make a good point, my friend. Excellent point. And people just gotta understand that, boxing is a business. It ain't just the fighter's business, it's the fighter's business and the promoter's business. So the promoter ain't about to, go into bankrupt just because he was just gonna let these fighters jump out there and, fight whoever they want to fight. I get it ain't that easy. It ain't that simple.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My headphones just for a second. I might jump out and come right.
Shit, bro. Damn, I can't hear y'all. Hold on.
You can't hear me? I'm the only one in here. Hey, everybody who have Instagram, y'all can follow me on Instagram at DC Mike TV. I don't know how many people in here, but y'all can, give me a follow. My mentor that got me into this game is Ellie Sekback. So
Yo,
yeah.
this joint. What happened? My bad, y'all, man. This shit sounded crazy on there, man. But Che, I'm back on here now, man. I can hear y'all. What y'all was saying now?
The guy said they need to let a fighter fight and forget about, being undefeated. And when a fighter does lose, let them keep fighting and don't stop their bag. I'm like, I wish it was that simple.
But
Ain't
but
nowhere
what I
near that.
really what I wanted to talk about when they said that, did you watch that Zapata versus Vargas fight?
I saw the highlight. It wasn't much
Man,
of a fight, but I
Zapata
saw it.
wiped his ass out.
He got hit with a shot. He was trying to slip and counter, and Geppetto, his shot got there first, and he had the power to put him down. That was a good
Yeah.
build up. Mexico versus Puerto Rico. They was doing a lot of trash talking, and they almost fought it. Damn, they almost fought it the way in. Damn, they came to blows, and he just got there
I mean,
first, and
how? What do you say to a guy? Because Zapata went in. If you guys didn't watch the fight, Zapata went in. Some people thought that this guy Vargas is a young up and coming, used to be signed to Floyd Mayweather, has one loss, but a lot of people dispute that loss. He shouldn't have no losses at all. He's coming in young, hungry lion to fight Zapata, which is a a cagey veteran that has very, very, very powerful knockout skills, and just knocked out, as some would say, the fight of the year in Ivan Barakhnicek. But people thought he was over the hill. A lot of people picked him to lose this fight, Zapata did, and Zapata goes in and ices Vargas within one round, within seconds of the fight starting. What the fight lasted, a minute, 2 minutes,
yeah, yeah,
and it was done. I mean, it was done. It was over that quick, you guys. My personal
yeah,
opinion is, where does Vargas go from here, DC Mike? We've seen this time and time again. We've seen this with, not as bad or not as, but fighters that are undefeated that have losses now. Sharpshooter from the DMV area, he suffered his first loss. And so
yeah.
where do fighters go? We've seen Mikhail Fox's Mikhail Fox. Remember, he suffered his first loss a little while back. So what are
You
these
talking about
young,
Mike?
hungry fighters? But this is a different type of loss, though, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when
This
George
is a
Foreman fought Joe.
knockout where you're done, dude. Where you're just out of it.
Yeah, that fight reminded me of when George Foreman fought Frazier the first time. He was just, caught him with a good shot, and he didn't really have a chance to really show what he could do. Speaking on, Frazier, with Vargas, same way, man. He just got caught with a shot that he, probably didn't see, and he just maybe Vargas is a better fighter than Zapata, but he just got caught with a shot he didn't see, and he just couldn't really show what he could do. I mean, you could probably rematch them guys, and Vargas don't get hit, with a big shot, and maybe Vargas could, show what he can do, and it'd be a different outcome. But his career obviously is not over, and obviously boxing fans are probably going, to talk shit about him, like, oh, he's trash, he's garbage. You know how fans do, Cory.
Yeah, man. 1 minute they with you, the next minute they're against you, or they're on to the next
Quickly,
fighter. So,
quickly.
right now, I mean, with that being said, Vargas, they did a post-fight press conference, which is always hard. And Vargas, talked to the guy, Mark Kriegel, I believe. And Mark Kriegel pretty much asked him, like, hey, asked his father, like, whose decision was it to take this fight so early on in his career? And the father pretty much put it on the son, like it was him and the manager talked, and he told his son, we should wait, we should fight one more fight and then fight him, like fight a southpaw or something. And then
Mm.
his father pretty much said no, his son wanted to fight him now. He's been eyeing this Zapata fight for over a year now. And Mark Kriegel pretty much asked him, do you think that y'all took this fight too soon? And he, pretty much his father was like, I wanted one more fight in between this, and then I wanted to fight him. So, will this mess up Vargas's, training? Will this mess up his psyche? I mean, he got brutally stopped last night in one round. I
Yeah, he
truly
damn
feel
sure
like he
did.
got caught cold. Do you feel like there's more? I feel like he has defensive holds too, because I've seen a couple of his other fights where he kept getting hit with that left hand and that right hook.
Yeah, he just got caught cold. Ain't nothing, nothing more, nothing less. He got cold, cold, and he just really couldn't show what he really could do skill wise. He got hit with one big freak punch, and then that was just the end of it.
That was
I
the end
mean,
of it, huh?
that was the end of it. I mean, he can, rematch the guy. You know
I
the
see
sign
the
dog.
same thing happening in a rematch though.
You see the same thing happening.
Yeah, man.
So what are you saying? He can't fix nothing technically
Do
to avoid
not
that punch.
rematch. I do see nothing changing in 3 months, dude. You talking about 3-6 month turnaround. What the hell can this young fighter do in 3 to 6 months? You just got blown out in the first round.
Okay,
Go
so
back to
he
the drawing board, get you a couple winnable fights, and then I think he needs 7 good fights. He's only 13-2.
why do okay. Why does he need seven
He
fights?
was trying to fight Zepeda, which is on a world class level. You went from fighting construction workers to this dude, like what? Just because
But
the bag is there, don't mean that though, man. Like, come on, man. These fighters go for the first biggest bag they get, man. Some of these fighters ain't even ready, man. I think it was the case that he wasn't ready. What do you think? Maybe you know something I don't know, DC. Mike, drop something, man. Come on now. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, man. I studied Vargas. I don't think Vargas was ready for this fight.
right. I mean, it ain't like he was getting beat.
Only 13 professional fights and you're 13-1 and you take Zepeda that just knocked out brutally Ivan Baragnacek, which was in a World Series of boxing at 140. All of these guys are good at 140, dude. And what do you think? You haven't even fought nobody close to Zepeda's big knockout win. You haven't even fought anybody on Ivan Baragnacek's level. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and
Like
he
I
got brutally stopped. And I still think Vargas wouldn't even be ready for Ivan Baragnacek.
But Vargas has skills. Like I said, it ain't like Zepeda beat him on skill. He just caught him with one big freak punch, and that was it. It ain't like he got beat on skills.
Yeah, I feel you. But Trap Media's in the comment section now. He says, how do you guys feel about Jaron Boots Ennis dismissing Blair the Flair when Blair has been calling him out and Blair pulled up to Boots' fight for the smoke, but Boots said no? Is that a bad look for the prospect?
What is he talking about last night?
Last
After his
night,
win?
yeah, they had a run-in, man, and Blair the Cobb was just like, yo, I want to fight you next. And pretty much Jaron Ennis' dad stepped in and had some valid points and said, you remember sparring, boy? Do you remember when you came over and sparred with us? You got
I
out of the
saw that.
ring. You remember that? And then
Yeah, I saw that.
he said, and then Blair the Carib Five must have been some truth behind that because Blair said, yeah, he was like, that was back then. He said that. He said that was back then. So there is history between these two.
Right. I'm gonna be honest
Knowing
with
that now that Blair got out the ring first, knowing that now, how do you see the fight going? I met Blair Cobb when I went to Vegas. I met him.
I'm gonna be honest again. I never heard this guy.
And I talked to Blair the Cat Fly. He's a Golden Boy fighter that has many more fights with Golden Boy. He's stuck over there, dude. That's probably why you won't hear it for him for another while anymore.
So he's signed to Golden Boy. What's his record?
He's undefeated. He's like 20-0, 15-0.
Oh, yeah.
He's
I've
a
never heard of
prospect.
him. Never seen him fight. Never heard of him. I don't know. I gotta, put up some fights and see what he fight like. But I know what Jaron can do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and that's brutal.
But have you seen Blair the Cobb fight? And do you think he has the goods to?
I don't think Blair the Flair Cobb, even though I know him, and I've talked to him. I talked about his Golden Boy contract. He said he's still in there for a couple more fights. So I just truly believe, first of all, we won't see him for a couple years. That's number one, because you know how Golden Boy does with their contracts. It's horrible. I don't know how Canelo got out of it. He might have had to bring the cartel over that motherfucker. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like right now, for one, he probably won't even fight a guy like Blair the Carib because, I mean, come on, Golden Boy, come on now. So it's like they're not even going to do business with PBC. So will we even see him fight the elite fighters? I can see somebody like him and Jose Benavidez, David Benavidez' little brother that lost to Crawford. I can see him and him fighting.
That's a good
possibly.
point. I like that. I
But
like that.
as far as other fighters right now in the Golden Boy stable, he can fight a guy like Virgil Ortiz. He got Virgil Ortiz right there in front of him.
Yeah.
But I think Blair the Carrot Flop needs to make a more of a name for himself. I feel like he's
Right.
not out there as much as Jaron Ennis is. A lot of hardcore fans know who Jaron Ennis is and know he about business.
Right.
You know,
How
we
much
don't
money
know
would
the
he?
jury's still out on Blair the Carrot Flop.
Yeah. How much money would he could he generate by fighting Cobb? I don't know. I never like I said, I never heard of him.
I mean, like I said, I don't think the money's there either, though, man. They're
Right. So
saying Blair, Jaron Ennis' father and his entourage said there's levels to this, Blair. You know that. We're levels ahead of you right now.
right. So what's the point? If Jerron used to getting I don't know 300,000 or 200,000 and Blair's getting I don't know 75 or 50,000, what's the point? Carl may be a good fighter, but it's a business. What's the
Let me
point?
let you hear this showdown. I'm gonna let you hear it now. Okay, you listening?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you hear what they said.
Fuck out, right? Cut it out. You know I'm gonna call him the fuck out, right? Cut it out. No, there is levels. It's levels. There's levels to this. I'm definitely not yours. We'll see. It's levels. Hey, I'm the only one that fought on this side, dog. I'm the only one that fought. Wasn't expected. You're another level, so. We'll see though. We'll see though. We'll see though. Oh, we'll see.
Here goes Jaron Ennis' father walking in there.
I'm talking all this shit. I'm talking all this shit. I like that. I'm talking all this shit. You don't know level. No, you don't know. You don't know level. This ain't wrestling. You know you gonna get hurt. I know. You top 10. I've been there. Listen. This my young boy. Yeah. Everybody gotta talk. He gotta talk. But Blair, you remember what happened? You remember what happened? It's the wrestling. What happened? Oh, when I was off? When you jumped. I showed up. What? You jumped out that ring. Really? It's not right there, right? We can run it back. We can run it back. Anytime. We can run it back. You jumped out that ring. Anytime. You jumped out that ring. February 14, let's do it. Man, you get February 14, let's do it. You ain't got nothing behind February 14, let's do it. We don't level though. Oh, no.
Jaron Ennis' camp said, "Build yourself up. We're on another level." What do you say to that, DC Mike? How do you say like all of that went down? What do you think?
Like I said, I never seen Carl fight, but I guess
Yeah.
I guess Jerron is on another level to him, probably skill wise and probably money wise. I don't know if he was referring to skills and money or just skill, but he probably, levels ahead of him as far as skill and money, in my opinion. So like I said, Carl may be a good fighter and all of that, but if the money ain't there, what's the point?
Yeah, Trap Media says, "What's the point of the big guys fighting Boots? He's nobody from a marketing standpoint."
Wait, what?
Whoa, Trap Media that was just on the live stream. He said, "What's the point of the big guys fighting Jaron Boots Ennis? He's nobody from a marketing standpoint."
So he's not marketable?
Whoa.
Well, Trap, can you explain that one?
Well,
What do you mean by what you mean marketable? As far as like talking trash and all that?
yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about. Elaborate a little bit more, Trap Media. He's not marketable. You talking about, talking trash, then if you're referring to that, then I guess he ain't. But
He
as
said,
far as
"What's the point of the big guys fighting Jaron Ennis? He's nobody from a marketing standpoint." Do you agree with him?
I think he's marketable.
I think he's
I
pretty
guess
marketable too.
yeah, I think it's different aspects of marketing. I don't know, what aspect he's talking about. After he went cancer.
He's saying he's not marketable right now.
Marketable right now.
He
Uh,
says Boots will wash Blair to clear Cobb right now. That's what Mike Biggs Boxing just said.
oh,
He said Jaron Boots Ennis would wash Blair now.
he probably would. I never seen Blair fight. I know what Jaron would do.
Yo,
If y'all seen Blair fighting, y'all
can you
confident
hear
that he
me?
can do it. Y'all can hear you. Yep.